separates the trachea from the esophagus when you're swallowing. Okay?
So it doesn't go into
Now,
the lungs.
yeah. But now, to me, the epiglottis is a primary example about how, I should say, evolution is rather stupid. Okay? Evolution works with the genetic variation that you have, not what would be ideal to have. Think about it. How many people have choked before?
Well, I have.
Does anybody else? How many people die every year from choking?
A lot.
A lot. Wouldn't it have made a lot more sense to keep the air passage completely separate from the food passage? But evolution doesn't work like that. It works with what it has. So we don't have that. Okay? Now, right up here, this is the tongue. And at the very end of the tongue, you see this sort of roughened stuff on the edges. That is the papilla.
Yes, I'll point to it again.
This is the tongue with papilla, and the papilla is used for taste. And then finally, everybody should be familiar with the nasal passages. Okay? So we have nasal passages, hard palate, soft palate, epiglottis, tongue with papilla. Okay, now, when you do your cuts, you sort of want to be, let's see, some of you have already, jab, 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 okay? It's best to pull up a piece, get your scissors under it, and cut while you're pulling up. That keeps you from damaging internal organs. Okay, so you'll need to, when you get a chance, pull these further apart, the arms further apart,
Okay.
in order to expose all this over here.
Do I have to cut like all this tissue away right here?
I would not be cutting.
No?
I would not be cutting.
Oh, well, not cutting, but with that thing right there? Pull it away?
Yes, you want to be pulling it away.
Okay.
Okay, because what we have here, okay, we'll go through these. We have two parts, the thoracic cavity, the abdominal cavity. They are separated by this sheet of tissue here, which I didn't want you to cut through, called the diaphragm.
Did I cut this? I did.
Okay. The diaphragm separates the thoracic from the abdominal cavity.
On her pig, like if you cut through it, what does it look like? Which one's the entire?
It would have been, this is part of it right here.
Oh, okay.
Now what you might want to do is take these cuts here and then here, and then take that back and rinse it out.
Okay.
Okay, because you got a lot of blood in there that hasn't.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now, going back to from the diaphragm, which is used for breathing. I'm going to open this up a little more. You see this little bean-shaped structure right here. This one right here. Everybody see this? This is the thyroid.
Oh, so the bean-shaped is a thyroid, okay.
The thyroid gland is used to secrete hormones that control your metabolism.
Is there only one of those? That's thyroid? Is that
Yeah.
across from the thymus gland?
Yeah, give me just a second here. I'll get to that here. But, okay, yeah, there's only one.
And that's on the left-hand side.
No, actually, it's sort of, these, whoever cut this, cut into the trachea where they shouldn't have done. But it actually lays right in the middle, right on top of the trachea.
Oh, hold on.
And then on either side, going around the thyroid, is the thymus gland. The thymus gland produces lymphocytes used in immune response.
Where's the,
That's these little things right here?
It's this right
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
around here. It's a spongy looking piece of tissue.
Okay.
Where's the, what did you say it was again? On top of the thyroid gland?
This is the
Or what-
thyroid gland.
But
This
what's
is-
that on top? What does it lay on top of?
I can't, I
Well,
think it's,
This is
The
ventral.
you said the trachea?
This is ventral to it. The trachea lays on top of it.
Okay, the trachea, okay.
Okay, now, going back here, this is the larynx, which leads into the trachea. The larynx is the voice box. It's what makes this thing goes wee, wee, wee all the way home.
Is that the hard, it's like a hard part, like a hard, okay.
Okay, so larynx, trachea, which of course carries air to the lungs. Now, to find the esophagus, you're going to want to come across, this is when you use your little blunt probe, your esophagus lies dorsal to your trachea. So you go through, underneath, above your trachea, and then we pull it out, and here we see this nice tube. This tube is the esophagus, carries food from the mouth to the stomach.
So it's connected to the larynx?
No, it's not connected to the larynx.
It's the trachea,
Wait,
where it's next to the
It's-
trachea.
It's completely separate. Okay? I just haven't cleared all the tissue out. If I cleared it all out, it would be completely separate.
Because it's the larynx, the trachea, and then that's like to
Okay.
the side of it.
Now, when you cut through into your heart, which appears like you cut through your...
You all right there, man? If I go like this, will you
Hey, man. It's right here. Okay, your heart's covered with a big piece of tough tissue. It's called your pericardial sac.
and that's
Okay.
the heart?
This is the pericardial sac right here that I'm holding.
So our red thing we can take off, we can lift off, it's just like a skin.
Then what's underneath it?
Well, I'll get to that in just a second. Okay, we got the pericardial sac. Then we have the heart right here. And we know that the heart, this is the ventral part, so then we can say right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Okay? Clear so far?
Say it one more time.
Right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle.
Okay, it's on video.
Then you can see here the lungs, the different lobes of the lungs. Okay? And that is all your thoracic cavity. Going back here to your abdominal cavity, this big piece here, right here, is the liver.
That's down here where we didn't cut.
Now, mesenteries. If we open up the small intestine here, you'll see all these sheets of tissue with blood vessels running through them. Sort of like holding your small intestine together. This is your mesentery. Then we see this shiny piece of tissue here lining the abdominal cavity. That is the peritoneum. Your stomach is sort of right next to your liver. Your stomach will be empty. You cannot cut it open to see what's inside because there's nothing inside because this thing hadn't started eating yet.
It was still on mom's milk?
Yep.
Oh.
Not even on mom's milk, on mom's blood.
Oh, because it was inside.
Yeah. Attached sort of like next to the stomach, this piece, this is the spleen. Spleen which removes dead red blood cells. Pancreas is going to be real hard to find at best of times. This, I'm real lucky this one happens to have a pancreas here. It's this piece of spongy looking tissue right here.
Oh.
Usually it lays sort of like right next to the stomach. Then we have the
To clean out the blood, right? The pancreas
Yeah.
filters out the blood.
the pancreas actually secretes pancreatic juices, according to your book, digestive enzymes.
Oh.
Now, if we pull the liver up here and pull the stomach down, we'll see this green thing here. This green thing is the gallbladder. Okay, did y'all see that? This green thing right here is the gallbladder. Okay, gallbladder stores bile. Then we go into the small intestine, which is used for digestion. It's this grayish stuff. The small intestine leads into the large intestine, and you can tell where it joins because what you'll find is that there'll be this big sort of out pocket. Okay, everybody see this right here? This little pod, this little pouch here of the large intestine. This is called the cecum. If the cecum, in humans, the cecum would have a little finger-like projection right here called the appendix. Well, it would be here. We don't. The pigs don't have it. But if it was human, it would be right here. This is the cecum. The cecum leads into this large thing here, which is called the coiled colon. All this is the coiled colon, which leads into the descending colon, right along the backbone, goes through this hole into the rectum and out the rectum into the anus. Okay? Now to get to your kidney, you're going to have to cut through some rough tissue here, some pretty hard connective tissue. And you'll see your kidney coming off your kidney right here. This is your ureter. Your ureter goes back and goes into your urinary bladder, which is right here, sort of between the two umbilical arteries, which we'll talk about later. So right here is your urinary bladder. Your urinary bladder then leads into the urethra, which I won't show you just now. It comes out through down here and around and leaves at the urogenital opening.
This is the male, right?
Yes. Okay, questions on that?
Wait, so they pee out of that little hole?
That's where they came from.
But they don't have any, like, babies?
Oh yes, yes, it's a very good size one, but you'll see later.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So a wiener would grow out of that little hole?
We'll show it to you.